horizontally. Oh, great. And already the things on the phone aren't working. Let me try that. Okay, so, right. Huh? Is that... Okay, YouTube controls. Okay. I found it! Oh my god. Voice isolation is on. Standard. Okay. Let's try that. That's interesting. Maybe that worked. There's no people here. Hey! People, come on! Show up! There's nobody here. Okay! There's a person! Person! Tell me if this sound works. Because, I figured out that YouTube was secretly on voice isolation mode. Can you hear music when I play this? Anybody? Yes! We can hear the music! We can hear the music! Ah! We can hear the music! That's great. Now, earlier I was live streaming and we couldn't hear the music at all. So, very quickly explaining for some newcomers. There is a 343 EDO microtonal song contest in the Discord, and the submissions are due tomorrow. So I'm trying to write something very quickly using a really high number of notes per octave, and I'm hoping that people in the chat will want to witness this process and maybe chime in and offer some interesting commentary. I've also been seeing 343, like, as when I was in high school, I would see the number 343 everywhere, and then randomly, out of the blue this year, somebody whose name is like Obernautilus or something is commenting in a bunch of YouTube videos. Hey, write in 343 EDO. So I almost thought it was kind of a prank, like that somebody I knew had hopped on here and figured out what I was doing and was messing with me. But it's just this random person. So at least I think it is. So now I'm gonna try and figure out a good way to play 343 into my computer here and see what we can have going on. So first I'm gonna tell one person. How many people do we have now? Still 4. Okay, let's see if we can get it back up to 20. Now, here's what I have as an idea. First of all, if you were in the chat, please tell me interesting things about 43, because I'm trying to find something inspirational that I can use. And I think that when I was Googling 343 in the past as a high schooler, it kept popping up as like an angelic number. So people who are easily influenced by that sort of thing would see it and think that angels were telling them to do something. So I want it to be vaguely angelic in some sense. Now I'm trying to think of other numbers that could work with it, that could multiply with it. I think what might be fun is to try playing in 49 tone equal temperament and then shifting it by degrees of 343 to accomplish something in the piece. I think that might be really cool. So let's try using domain shifting to compose something really cool, or field shifting, I suppose it would be called. You can also see some of my setup here. I've got my Lumitone. By the way, Gordon, you can hear when I play sounds here, right? Like that? Yeah. Sweet. Okay. Yes. Okay. Fantastic. I actually figured out how it worked. For once, I googled how to fix the audio problems on YouTube, and AI didn't lie to me. So, good job, AI, for not lying. Okay. Great. So now, let me just hold on. I'm not used to this. Okay. Here goes. Google calculator. Okay. 343. Okay, so 343 divided by 7 is 49. So now all I need to do is come up with a 49 tone layout for this thing, which is not one I use almost ever. But guess what? I've prepared for this day. I've prepared because I've made a Lumitone layout for like every EDO up to 72. They all laughed. They all called me crazy. They all said it was insane. But now, tonight is the night where I get to actually put that to use. So, step 1, we go to the computer and we take our cute little piano sound, or do we? And we go over to here and go to advanced tuning, and we make 49 tone equal temperament. Delicious. Now, next thing. Like, Wiggles is mad that I'm in here without her. She's my cat. You might be able to hear her meowing at the door because she's mad. Okay, so now that I've got this here, I've got to go to my Lumitone files. Let's see, Lumitone layouts. My Lumitone layouts, there it is. Okay, not in the older extra folder. Then I will go to the Lumitone editor here, because you have to open it in the editor, otherwise it won't work. And then I will click 49 EDO Diatonic. Let's see, send editor layout. Now my Lumitone is blank. Oh my gosh, guys! I can play in 0 EDO! Man, if you're in the Discord, do you just love how whenever someone brings up 0 EDO, everyone's like, "Man, I sure hate 0 EDO!" Okay, so now we're loading up a file. And we're already in my Lumitone layouts. Great, it remembers. And 49, apparently, looks like this. Fantastic. Okay, so now, oh, you know what? I almost forgot. Here's the thing that I forgot. To go into my Pianotech sound file and change the layouts such that the mapping is a multi-channel MIDI layout that starts on channel 4, because that works with Chris Klein's projective tuning space layouts. Okay, now we have a 49 tone equal tempered interface where we may be able to come up with something interesting that I am interested in shifting into 343 land. Okay, so let's figure out where everything is. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's cool, right? But that wasn't really composing. I can play a bunch of random similar shapes and have them shift around, and that's really interesting and fun, but it's not the same as knowing what I'm doing and trying to move between those relationships in a way that feels really unique to 49. So I'm very worried. I'm worried that my composing might be too boring for a live stream. But let me see if I can figure out how 49 works. I'm so excited that I finally got the Lumitone to work with the live stream, because the speakers had to be on, and that worked, and then YouTube was being crappy, and I fixed that, so now everything is working. Hey, it's Red Opal! What's up, Red Opal? Thank you so much for commenting on my Patreon the other day. By the way, I do have a Patreon account where I release transcriptions and other items. Mostly transcriptions, like PDFs to the crazy ones I do on YouTube, and then Now and Zen episodes early. Anything else related to Now and Zen, like secret news, so that people know ahead of time. And then also, like, if I make something here, usually I am usually I am reading something if it's complicated. And sometimes that is in the correct notation system. And sometimes it's just a shorthand that makes it easier for me to read it and do it. And regardless, a lot of those things get posted as tablature on the Patreon account. So that's very exciting. It's like if you wondered like what I'm reading in that Lucci Ferenc video in 37 tone equal temperament, that's really great, that Anna guest starred on. That was really fun. Um, like all those tabs are on Patreon. So it's pretty great. Okay, so figuring out 49. Oh, you know what? This isn't diatonic, is it? It can't be. Or maybe it can't be. Let me see. Okay. So, luckily, I have something great in my Lumitone files, which is that I write down what scale it comes from, what kind of layout it is, and I also write the step sizes. So right here, I've written 972. So I guess 9, 7, and then 2 here. Okay, so this is 949 7 octave, 749 7 octave, 249 7 octave. Yeah. Very good. Okay, so we've got all of that there. And hey, I don't know. I mean, just playing that Mary Had a Little Lamb just now felt more right than it should have. Maybe I should just make this a big, like, cluster. That last one wasn't as faux shimmer as I expected. Yeah, maybe it should have some shimmer, and then it shifts by 343 tet intervals to do something. So now I feel like at this point I've actually got to know something about 49 because I don't know anything about 49. I'm a 49 noob. I know that it's 7 times 7. Maybe I should find 7 tet. I think that'll inspire me. Let's see. So if this is diatonic, then the steps I guess are here. And it's pretty hard, right? Because if the step is 9 here, and then the half step is 2, a 9 to 2 ratio for steps. Your so like C to D is 9 times C to D has 9 individual steps in it, and then E to F has 2 individual steps in it. It has a 9 to 2 ratio. So that's pretty ridiculous. Ooh, let me just check and make sure that the chat is allowing all comments. Because this is stupid. Let's see, top chat. What is checked? Okay, my phone is doing this dumb thing where I can't see what I'm allowing in the chat by clicking on it. Let's see, live chat. Okay. Live chat. Okay. I made all of the messages visible because I don't care if your comment is popular or not. I want to see all of them. So maybe I would know I was popular if like there were so many messages in the chat that I physically couldn't keep track of them. That might be an interesting metric. Okay, so we've got a really hard scale here, and let's see. I think in a hard scale, I kind of like sus chords. That sounds nice and pretty, right? So I had like the second, the fourth, the fifth, and then maybe a seventh. That seems fun. Now I'm hoping to take this 5-note chord and maybe expand it in all directions. Oh, I just had an idea. I just had a good shimmer idea. I haven't done this yet, but I think it might be a good idea to have a chord that moves through microtonal voice leading to another chord, and then at some point play the microtonal notes of that entire chord as a shimmer. So it's recontextualized as not being a tonality flux, but instead one shimmery thing, so that it's not quite one or the other. I feel like that might be great. Yes, thank you, Zenpelt, for helping Michael out. It's annoying that I don't have a chat window that I can scroll through when I'm live on my phone. It's like I think it matters less when I'm doing it on my phone, but it actually, like, I still want to talk to people in the same way. Okay, so I'm basic. I'm on the white keys, which are actually pink here. And we've got this sus chord. So how can we move in a way that is satisfying? Okay, this is a hard fifth, and I like sharp fifths. So now I'm trying to figure out one away because I want to get a large fifth. And microtonality is low-hanging fruit, right? So it's like, if I do anything in a tuning system I haven't touched before, or there's a certain type of interval I haven't interacted with enough, all I have to do is kind of think of that, and probably something good will happen. So if this is 2, okay, nobody tell me, no spoilies. I'm not going to look at my phone. So I've got 9. There's 2. So I guess if we went... let's see, up 9. This would be down. This would be up 2, 2, 4. That's up 4, and then down 7. So 4 minus 7 is -3 from here. So that's slightly larger. Oh, so there's 3, right? Nope. There it is. So you'd have to, like, if you have 9, right? Sorry, no. If you'd have going up by 2, 1, 2, twice. And then going down 7, you get -3. And then if you had your original note and went down by 2, the -2 and the -3 are 1 apart. So now 1/49 of an octave in this diatonic layout is proceeding down right by 3 hexagons and then down left by 1. So it's like relatively far. Okay, great. So we've got a good idea. This has the potential to get real janky really fast. Okay, so we figured out where 1 is. 1, 2, 3, and then back. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do when I'm thinking about like EDO scale degrees. So then I guess if I have this, I guess it's an F, that's okay, right? Oh, I didn't tune this to middle C, so we accidentally have an interesting key. Great. Okay, I want this second, which is a large second, to go inwards, because then I'm hoping I will get a small second. So now, let's see if I can take this back. Oh, wrong way. We found 2 across the keyboard. So like here, there's down 1, down another one, or sorry, up 1, up another one. So that's up 2, and this note is the same as the one here. So yeah. Okay. Well, this is already really fun getting to know this tuning. Even if I don't compose anything, this will be fun. So, right here, okay, to make this creep inward, this one goes up 1 there. So I'm separating out all the voices and having them do what I want. So this is like, the quality of this is like roughly like 1, 2, 4, 5, flat 7. Oh, that's so spicy, man. That's ridiculous. Could you imagine being a person who hates microtonality and just like hearing like okay, great. We've got this. And then this one's going to go down. So now let's see if we have this here. Oh, it's up there. That sounded kind of neutral to me. Oh, that doesn't sound as different. Oh, God, no! I accidentally pressed the button. No! That was accidentally 41. Okay, let's go back. Sorry about that, gang. All right, we'll see if I can find my place again. Fingers crossed. Okay. We're sending the editor layout. Faux pas live on camera. Okay, back to 0 EDO. The correct and one holy master tuning that we all return to when we die. And now 49. Yippee! Okay, and we're back. Oh, Gordon's done it a lot. Yes, you would know, Gordon. You're on the grind. You're live streaming like every night. I don't know what your schedule is, but you are really putting in the hours, man. Okay, so back to this. Okay, so we have this chord. Okay, I'm just working with the bottom 4 voices. I changed the bottom, and when I had these here, I almost didn't notice that bottom move. I like if you had the scale degrees as like 1, 2, 4, and 5. I noticed 2 move down, but I wasn't sure that I noticed 1 moving up. 1 moving up seemed more subtle than 2 moving down. So what does that tell me? I have to think. Let's see. 2 a.m. EST. based and zen pilled. Amazing. Okay, I wonder. Let's see. Oh, this sharpens it. Hold on. Oh, it's so hard that it doesn't quite sound like 5 EDO. It doesn't sound like 5 EDO, and it doesn't sound like a normal pentatonic scale. I'm very not used to this pentatonic scale, so I like that. We're keeping that. Here's what I noticed. If I just keep iterating up by the intervals in 2, these are so close together that they just shimmer. You could fool me into thinking that was a 5-note chord with shimmer. But those are there. Oh, here would be the 5-note chord. Ah. Ah, that's so good. Can you believe that this can happen and people still just want to stay with 12 EDO? I couldn't do it, man. I could not do it. Okay, so. Okay, that's officially a great move. Ah, why aren't you working? That is a classic error. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. And Yo Variable loves the 49 shimmer as well. Fantastic. I try to look over at my phone enough to answer to random messages, but the way the chat works is weird. I can't see the entire chat, so I can only kind of see it like when your message is popping up. So I'll try to look over. 12-2 boring, Lamau. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, great. So here we go. We got this. We're changing this here to. It's because those both sound fourthy. Oh, good. And these both sound fifty. Oh, that's delightful. Okay, great. Now, how about this one? It's a nice minor third. Mm. I'm hearing very slight difference tones. That's really weird. What if that's 7/6-ish? Nah, 6/5. Now this one. Those are the difference tones I'm hearing. That's weird. That's weird. I like it. Okay, so right here, we've got that. Those thirds sound more different to me than the roots against it because the fourths and the fifths, like non-JI fourths and fifths, don't have as much going on with them where it's easy to lock them into a chord. So now that makes me think. Let's see. I think that's obvious enough, but I wonder if I need to change the. I don't know. Maybe I don't want the low note to be obvious. Maybe I could have it move up by 2. Let's try moving the low note up by 2 and see how different it is. I like the other one because it's really subtle. But it just sounds so neutral secondy. I wonder. Oh, you know what? Let's try making the second wider by 1. And then, when we shrink it down, the smaller second won't sound as neutral, is my hope. So let's try that. Okay, so. Let's see, that's 1. Oh, dang. That's the wrong way. Let's see. Okay. Oh! It could be like that. So, oh, this has to go up by 1. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. How's that? That's not right. Hold on. No! This is confusing. Fun fact. Okay. All right. Back to it. Okay. Got these things. And somehow I think I moved wrong here. I guess I have to check my work a little bit more. Let's see. Oh, you know what? It is right because 1, 2, 3, bop. This is down. Oh, but it wraps around to itself such that there's 4 this way. So actually, I am right. Okay, never mind. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, great. Those are all right next to each other. Fantastic. This is the part where everybody has stopped talking, which is great because then I can think about what I need to do. One, two, three, four. 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's a big second right there. Oh, this works. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's nice. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We got this. Check out that secondy action. Okay, this is what we want. Or at least this is what I want. Right here, you've got some kind of wide major second. Both voices go inwards, but they still sound major secondy enough to be major secondy. Ah, yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, here we go. So we got that. Hearing those in isolation really makes me want to think that this is like minor 30, but it's just so small. Okay, great. Here we go. We got this. So you got all these together. So I think if I move if I move the top voices by normal amounts, you'll forget, like, it will disguise the microtonal voice leading there. So I think in this composition, for that reason, I'd like people to be able to hear that in an interesting way. So I want to move every single voice by 1/49th of an octave. And I want to do that in a way where every voice has unquestionably moved, and the quality of the first chord and the quality of the second chord are really, really different, but 12 tone equal temperament would treat them the same way. This is a great strategy to beat Zen Harmonic. I have an unreleased song on Ignoring Years of Hindsight. That is a really old collab from many years ago that will get released eventually. It's called Possessionlessness. Possessionlessness. Wait, possessionlessness. That's it. Yeah, it's the word that has the most S's in it, so that I could use all the dollar signs in it, and plus it relates to the theme. Um, and there's lots of tonality flux moving in there like that as well. So um, it also contains sections where like 16 tone equal temperaments fourths are so out that like if you use chords that are stacked in fourths like sus chords, there's like a part where I move between four of them that all have the same quality in 12 tone equal temperament, but in 16 they're all different. It's great. It's great. It's very good. And I'm really looking forward to releasing that. So we have this kind of thing. That's a fourth. That sounds 230. That sounds like a legit fourth. We can do that. Or we could use the classic exaggeration. So like since this second is large and this goes up to that fourth, that interval from here can be a fourth. But if we take it up even one more, where is this note? Crap. Let's see. We don't have it anywhere else, do we? That's annoying. Perks of things wrapping around. Okay. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this on its own sounds a bit tritony. But if you stack it with this, that sounds minor 30 enough that if you put these together, you might be fooled into thinking this is a little fourthy. Instead of, ooh, I have an idea. Maybe we can, okay, so here's an exaggeration technique that I've used, and I want to go back on this to try something else. So the exaggeration technique that I would use is like, let's say you have a stack of intervals, and because of tuning discrepancy, they exaggerate outwards or inwards, whatever one. Let's pick outwards, because we're starting with outwards here. We exaggerate outwards, and like, let's say we have a stack of fifths that's like, 3 fifths in a row, and they're like, pretty sharp fifths. And then you have some other moment where all of the fifths change a little bit in size and stack to a different interval. Um, and then in those, right, you have you would shift to something that sounds the same, and all of the exaggerations would add up over time, such that the extended interval on the end would shrink in a meaningful way that would sound more like a semitone or something like that. So if we stacked like C, G, D, A, with pretty sharp fifths, and then like in that same tuning or in a different tuning went to like C, a shorter G, a shorter D, a shorter A, that A is the most radically changed from the initial A because of the stacked intervals. So let's do something else. So instead, here, what I want to do is see if I can get this exaggerated fourth so high that if I move it in a direction that doesn't just shift with all the exaggerations of the other intervals, if I can get it to categorically be something else by shifting one, like a fourth versus a tritone. Maybe that's a good idea. It might ruin our idea of having all of the voices move by 1/49th of an octave, but it'd be interesting to try. Okay, here we go. So this is a big second and a big fourth, and we decided that for our seconds on the bottom, they move in like this, which rocks. Man, I love that. That's so good. This here. Like that kind of feeling reminds me of I don't know if anyone in here has listened to this track, but I made something for the Sexy Toads and Frogs friend circle called Aesthetic Soft Lock Without Cheats. and I had been purposely avoiding like microtonal piano sounds from Piano Tech for like a really long time. And then in that track, I just used them to create something really like super robotic and like dissonant in a fun way. And this is kind of reminding me of a little bit of that, but a little bit more discreet. Okay, so you got these here. So now, no more stalling. Let's figure out how to expand out. Okay, this can barely count as a fourth with this on the inside. Can we go one more? Will that still work? It might not. Crap. How do I go back one? Let's see. Okay. Up one, so go 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's kind of tritone-y. I think it's still. It doesn't sound leading like 1 3 flat 7 would. Like it doesn't sound. It doesn't sound that dominant seventh-y, so I think it can still count as fourth-y. What do you guys think? Wait, is he here? Obeliski, the Obisky guy. Okay, at first I thought you said Obeliski. I was about to be scared. Here we go. Okay, the real test is how high does this have to get with the second in it to stop sounding fourthy and start sounding like something else is going on. Like this minor third sounding like a major third, maybe, would be that might be the point. Okay, I'm excited to figure this out. Let's do it. Okay, so the only problem is every time I do it, I have to go up 1/49 on the keyboard, and it's so much work. 1, 2, 3, pop. I went down. Damn it. Let's see. Oh wait, 1, 2. Oh, that note isn't anywhere else. I hate that. No. That's starting to not sound fourthy. Okay, this one. Now I'm having to memorize all these notes. Let's see. Does anyone know any 49 sizes? Can someone post the sizes of 49's thirds in the chat? Okay. Minor. A neutralese interval that still sounds minor. Still neutral but major sounding. Oh, that one's really major sounding. So we have to go back. Okay, nice. So we have like a minor, a low neutral, a high neutral, and major. And I assume the low neutral would be 343 cents because it's from 710. That's cool. So then what would the high neutral third be? Can someone post that for me in the chat? Because I don't feel like doing math right now. Hilariously enough. Oh, no. Okay, this sounds. Oh, it's 367 cents. Thank you so much. Ooh, that's a great size. Great size. Okay, I'm thinking two neutral thirds is also really interesting. That's an interesting feature that I'm not used to working with in tunings. So we're just discovering more. So seconds that can collapse in on each other and both sound like pairs of major seconds that are a little weird. And then also different kinds of neutral thirds. Classic stuff. Okay, great. So to tritone. Those tritones are interesting. Because this lower tritone, it locks in more than this high one, but the high one sounds like it fits with this third. Oh no, our fifth! Here we go. So if that's too close, yeah, that'll be crazy for our fifth. Interesting. So we're compromising because if the fourth is too high, then it sounds like minor second or neutral second with the fifth. Okay, I think we got some ideas. So here, if you have this first chord that has like a 1, a 2, a 4, and a 5, I'm hoping that I can make this 4 and 5. Hey, Delta Quartz. Hoping I can make this 4 and 5 narrow enough that maybe when the 4 and the 5 both go in, I get something that sounds more minor secondy. So I guess the distance between scale degrees 4 and 5 has to be wide enough that that can still occur. Kind of like in the bottom, but in the top, we're hoping that we can have more of a shift from major second to a minor second like thing. Because I don't think there's going to be hope for 2 major seconds up top. But hey, maybe why not? Maybe I could just duplicate the shape. Hold on. Let's try that. Ah, dang. Come on. So, do, 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 do. So that shape wraps to here. You have to wrap it around. Let's see. So that bottom one has to move over to the right while it moves left. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Oh my god! Ah, that's so good. Okay, here we go. So first one. Oh, we did it. We did it. I think we formed the basis for a really interesting 49 chord progression. Okay, so here's what we have going on. Wait, is that right? Yeah, it is. It just sounds high. Oh, you know what? This fifth is large, but because you have this here, that kind of makes it okay. And then when it resolves down to fifth, you still have the fifth there. So it still sounds pentatonic. That's interesting. Okay, that's so awesome. Okay, I'm gonna see. I think I accidentally, when I did this one and decided to move it over like this fifth here, I was thinking about it in relationship to the first note, but not the second note. So I'm wondering, I think I'm envisioning something where I have like this as a nice pattern and then I move it over. Oh, that's so great. Okay, I'm gonna try to sing along to all the notes on the inside. Wait, sorry. Oh, that one goes up. That's why it didn't work. Now fifth. Wait. Oh, that is so good. Okay, so now that I'm obsessed with this little pattern, we gotta spin it out a little bit. Okay, so now this this is the part where things get really hard because I don't quite know how to label notes in 49 diatonically, and I don't think I want to learn. But I noticed something really interesting when I was playing this arpeggio, and I accidentally made a mistake. So I think this can relate to the shimmer idea. Did these changes come from particular scales? Very good question. No, it didn't come from a particular scale that I was thinking of. But when I just kind of saw the pink keys here, it evolved from me just kind of banging out like 1, 2, 3, or like these four notes here. Hi, Chris. I'm using your app to make this. Whoa, look, I'm wiggling the Lumitone. That's really good for it. Just kidding. Treat your Lumitone with lots of water, just like you used to water your plants. Okay, on the pink keys, I played something on the pink keys immediately and was struck by how nice the pentatonic scale was. And then another idea that I had was I wanted to use microtonal voice leading that felt very discreet and small and 49 tone equal temperament. If we're writing in 343 tone if we're writing in 343 tone equal temperament, I may be able to write something interesting in 49 tone equal temperament and then multiply it in a way over time such that it increments into a 343 tet way. So that is exactly what I am going to do. Ah, yes, you need to lubricate it with honey. That's actually how you fix sticky keys, according to the FCC. Let's see, how do you water your Lumitone? Do you do a deep soak once in a while? Yes, occasionally I help with some cat barf. That'll help, with everything, get the substances kind of swishing around. So I started with this chord, and then what I wanted to create something that sounded pretty major secondy, where both notes move in and they still sound major secondy. And then I replicated that pattern and put it on the top for like a rough scale degrees 1, 2, 4, and 5. And when I have what I want here, then the first chord becomes this with like a wide second here and then a wide second here. So two wide seconds in a row, and then I shrink them both. So this one, instead of going, becomes, right? So both of them shrunk, right? So they go inward, both of them. And here becomes ah. I keep playing that normal note, and it keeps throwing me because I want to stay in this microtonal flux land. Okay, great. Here we go. So now that we've got this pattern, here's my next idea that I'm very excited about. I'm surprised how naturally this is rolling off the tongue when there's people watching. But you might have noticed that when I was playing, like my fingers are out of order, and so like if I have like the members of the second tier, like my index finger is playing this bottom note, and my pinky is playing this top one. But then when I switch the spots, because of how far away 149th of an octave is, my pinky has to play the bottom note, and the index has to play the top one, which means occasionally if I'm not thinking, I'll play index pinky again and play the top note first. Which means that you could accidentally do this. So I can move pieces of my arpeggio around in a way that I feel enumerates all the notes in the collection to cause shimmer. So that we're not just moving in between two awesome chords, which is already awesome and already farther than most people will go. But we can make it even better. We don't have to settle for just one thing. We can have like three things. So now that's what I'm going to figure out how to do. That will be a boring part of the composition process, though. So that's probably something I'll do after the stream is over. But once I've got this, I'll figure out how to play it in such a way that I'm like, "Ah." So obviously I'm not doing it in a mathematical way there, but you get the idea. It's like there's some way that we can make all of these notes move onto each other so that we get all of the combinations of them, but also get to hear that first theme really clearly of like all of the notes shifting around with their respective seconds to go to that next chord. Okay, that's really exciting. Yep. Great. Then I'm gonna try and remember that so desperately. Oh man, I wish I could just take a picture of this. That would be really nice, but I'm like currently live streaming on my phone, so I can't exactly do that. So I wonder what I can do. Oh, you know what? I can do something. Yeah, you know what? I'll just remember it. Oh no, your message disappeared. Somebody put a message in and I saw it and it like went away. I think it was a Red Opal message. So I'm sorry, Red Opal, about your message that I didn't read in time. It disappeared into the ether because the way that YouTube live streams to a phone is stupid. So maybe you can post it again. Sorry, it was my magic trick. No. Okay, so we got this. Oh, we got this. That's great. Now, thinking about staying within those notes, that creates a vamp that feels like it's going back and forth. And gosh, there's so many things we can do that like even within 49 tone equal temperament, I'm just like, wow, how do I not like try to do everything all at once? So I think the idea I have is good because I want shimmers and I want these major seconds moving around. Oh, I think the next thing has to be playing with neutral third sizes. I think it might be interesting to go from one neutral third to another kind of neutral third. So maybe that can be a more triadic bent. Who knows if the ideas can even be reconciled? Because they're like, bumping up against different things, right? Okay, so let's see if I can play this in a different spot. Maybe. It doesn't look like it. Okay, let's see. I had to lose here. Okay, let's see. Oh, you know what I could do is I could move this in a way that actually makes it convenient to play. Because right now, for this, I'm rapping, and I'd prefer to play it like this, you know? So all I have to do is move this down enough that I can handle that. So let's move it down like this, and then this, and then this. Okay, here we go. So then, your bottom will go straight. Wow! Wow. Okay, I feel like with that pattern I can play it anywhere. Yay, okay, let's try this one. Oh, I love that. They both sound so sussy to me. I don't think my ear can figure out which one should sound more resolved based on quality alone. I think it's funny because I figured out the first one to try and get to the second one, right? Right? But then the second one actually kind of sounds more resolved, but it also sounds flatter. So that's odd. So I guess the primacy can affect it. Okay, here's the shape I have. Let me see if I can get it to a place where you can see. Sussy, yeah. So, there's the second. There. And then here's another second. Would you ever use any crazy notes or rhythms? Absolutely. I'd love to use some crazy notes and rhythms. I'm hoping that's I'm hoping I'm accomplishing that here. I'm wondering if I can do I think if I play it in, the rhythms I want to use might not be too complicated, but with a tracking software later, I might want to do something where like I hit one note every like 5 subdivisions and hit one note every 6, one note every 7 or something. But better than just 5, 6, 7. But oh no, 6, 7. But I can when I'm playing it out here and doing it like this and hopefully adding some kind of human touch to it, I can try moving around that. Okay, great. So now I'm wondering if there's any melodic things I want to include. Now, we're talking about theme. So, so far the idea is that I have like a sus4 chord and it's shifting microtonally in a very satisfying way, so that you get pairs of major seconds that are moving around, and both chords sound resolved. And if you arpeggiate the notes slightly off of their main pattern, you get a natural shimmer that's built in. So now, let's see. Okay, so if the theme is angelic, okay, the theme should be like it's angelic, but it also is like related to youth a little bit and foolish things. Yeah, Levi's here. Holy crap. 343 EDO. Oh my god, why? Levi. Oh, I have the pleasure of telling you the story of why I'm even trying 343 EDO. But actually right here I only have 49. So maybe now I can come up with a plan. Yeah, Obelisky. Have you not seen Levi? He's like doing all the things I wished Adam Neely would be doing. He's crazy. So, right here, there's been like as a high schooler, I saw 3343 as a number everywhere. Uh everywhere. And then randomly in Gordon's stream and in my stream, this random guy showed up and was like, "Hey, write a bunch of stuff in 343 EDO." And it's so funny. It's so funny. Because uh I almost saw that and I was like, wait, is Michael or Tyler trying to prank me? Did they like pose as a random YouTube person? Oberlieutenants is the person. They just showed up and were like, write things in 343. So Gordon, aka Zenpilled, created a competition where we have to write something in 343 and submit it by December 10th to satiate this random person, which is a humorous escapade that I really wanted to get in on. I don't have time for this, but I'm breaking the rules. I'm throwing out stuff that I'm supposed to do instead to do this. So that's how fun it is, right? So December 10th, as you might know, is tomorrow. So this is a due tomorrow 343 EDO speedrun project. So I'm using 49 as a framework, and then we're multiplying it somehow to get 343. Okay, so let me figure out. I think the next thing for me to do is figure out how I want to extrapolate this lovely little chord progression. Now, here's my other idea. Okay, idea just hit me. Very non-repetitive meter, but a repetitive like two chord vamp. Because then that I think will give some metric interest. So like in the DAW later, or actually maybe I could just play it. I probably could improvise something that's really metrically dubious and then maybe write down exactly which enumerations of the shimmers I should play and when. I could probably figure it out pretty fast. Hopefully. But that's something. Okay, here we go. Did I lose it? Oh, that's still great. I was worried I would play that and it would sound old and I would be used to it, but I'm not used to it yet. Great. Tristan says apparently 343 EDO has a super accurate harmonic 17. Ooh, that's freaky. Maybe I can use it to play 17 on 12. Everybody in the chat being like, "Oh, that's so close to 12 EDO." Oh, that would be really funny. Okay. So extrapolating. All right. So I think first I have to create something that's not just two chords going back and forth because that can't be the whole thing. Um, oh man, this reminds me of a quote. Oh, what is it? I've forgotten it. Uh, oh, it's like in Community when Pierce Hawthorne is playing the piano and he's trying to come up with a school song for Greendale and he's like, I think maybe I would start with something like this note and then maybe after a while go to that note and that's great. Let's see. Are you going for beautiful angelic or biblically accurate angelic? Ooh, it's funny. I'm going for both because I really find cursed harmony beautiful. And this is my weekly Paul Dolden Stan comment. If you haven't listened to Paul Dolden's dissonant chords in Below the Walls of Jericho, you should definitely do that. There's some of the most sublime chords I've heard in my entire life. Um, and I will. I've been reading about it and trying to figure out how he achieved such a great balance, and there's a lot that goes into it. But what really surprised me was that like a lot of the notes that he has are just in 25-cent bands. So actually, Levi, if you're still here, this is directly related to your like 1,000 note chord video because Paul essentially like made those kinds of chords with real instruments and recorded them and balanced them such that you can hear every note equally, which is very hard because if you put a bunch of dissonant chords or a bunch of dissonant notes all together, um, and you don't account for like the Fletcher Munson curves and all of that, you get some notes sticking out more than others, and you still get some like nebulous sense of quality that makes sense. But Paul's balance is so finely tuned that when you hear one of these noisy Paul Dolden chords, you can tell that it's all notes, but you get no sense of quality at all, which is just really unique as far as I'm aware. So okay, next what we're gonna do is, oh, you know what? I have an idea. Let's use the different. Oh, spelling of his last name is Dolden. Yes, yes, it's very good stuff. If I am not awake, I try to just listen to Below the Walls of Jericho, and then I'm like sitting bolt upright, and I'm like, yeah, like I just like the most boring mornings. Okay, so here's the idea. We have two different sizes of neutral third in 343. Yay! 343 and 367. Great stuff. Now, I think it might be obvious to some of you that if we're in 343 and we have a third that's 343 cents, that could be a cheeky wink to something, to the source material. I think that could work really well. So I wonder um how I should make that significant. The obvious thing to do would be to like cycle through 7 EDO, but I don't want to just do that. So I'm wondering if I have like this group of notes that's changing, this like sort of sussy group, and I keep moving it over, if at some point the roots can move by one of the neutral thirds. Yeah, 343 and 343. 46 and 2 by Tool, Lateralis. I'm wondering. Oh, by the way, really dumb idea. I've told Levi about this. Schism in schismatic. Somebody do it who's not me, please. That would be one that want I want to do it less than I want it to exist. Like if you see lots of things that I make, like there's a ratio of this must exist to this is really fun to make. And like it used to be that everything was so fun that I would even make it if I just wanted to exist. And now I'm like, it should exist, but I don't need to be the only person who does it. So schism and schismatic, get on it. My recommendation is to use 17 tone equal temperament because it's like the only one where being in a schismatic temperament won't just sound like you're playing 12 tone equal temperament. Because the neutral third is technically 17 to its closest major third approximation, but it's really flat. So use that. Okay, so here we go. Moving these. I have to play this in such a weird angle that it looks like I'm hiding it, but it's just hard to play. Okay, so now I'm trying to figure out what happens if I move the root by a neutral third. Ooh, okay. So you know how in this chord change, I talked earlier about an approximation strategy. Nice, 98 over 343 is the closest to 343 cents. Oh wait, oh no. Oh, Tristan, you're saying, yeah, that 343 is so chopped up that the 7-tet neutral third isn't the closest one, is it? It's something else. Oh no, that's I don't really care. I'm just gonna use the 7-tet one because it'll be easier for me to think about. So the plan is 49-tet stuff, and then 343-tet drift later. No, it is. Oh really? Oh, that's awesome. Cause oh yeah, it's like 343 points something. Like it's not like more than a cent away. So yeah, okay, that makes sense because the steps in 343 are like 3 cents or something. Okay, so here we go. We got earlier, I talked about an exaggeration strategy where you stack up a certain type of interval and then you shrink it or expand it by just a little bit. And that causes a chain reaction where the interval that's stacked the most out from that uh, moves a little bit more than the others. And so you might get something that moves more meaningfully by a semitone. I used fifths to illustrate this. Like if you had CGDA and it was stacked with pretty sharp fifths, and then you moved to CGDA, C is the same, but then all the fifths were sort of a narrow size, a slightly narrower size, the A would move the most because of the chain. So now, instead of taking that strategy and using it to move from one of our sussy chords to another sussy chord where everything's moved 1/49th of an octave away, let's take that strategy and use it to shift our neutral third related chords maximally far from each other so that if you have one root shift that goes to like the 343-cent neutral third, oh, the 343-cent one is lower. So we'll make all of the notes as low as possible with whatever quality we want. And then with the 367-cent neutral third, we'll make all the qualities as large as we possibly can so that when we move from one to the other, the root movement will almost sound the same, but the exaggeration will tilt it such that each of the chords will be really colorful compared to the next one. But we're not just putting them next to each other, we are comparing them in relation to our initial tonic chord, and that involves its own set of contrasts. Okay, great. So that's the idea. So let's try this. We've got this chord, and now I'm going to try and figure out how to move it a neutral third. Oh, I guess I should be able to figure out what 7/10 is in this. So, okay, neutral thirds. Okay, that sounds like a major third. 7/10 is vertical. Thank you, Chris. So, like... Oh my god, that's so funny. Look at this. This is 7/10 right here. What if I play this like this? All right. Polyrhythm out of my system. Great. Let's do... We got these. Okay, if 7/10 is vertical, that's really nice, because then it means that I can move by a 343 cent interval pretty easily. Oh, but actually... Oh! You know what this is? This is a challenge of the interface. So, if I move vertically, my chord here... Yes, the Lumitone is in 49. Very good, Tristan. So, if I'm in a certain spot, I can move... I only have one option for moving vertically and not wrapping around. So, we will use that as inspiration somehow, thematically. So, get your little brains going in the chat there, and I'll get my little brain going as well, and we'll all think of things that involve like only being able to move one space or having to wrap around a certain way that are somehow angelic inspiration. So that's what I'm thinking of. So I had a particular spot for my chord, but I am going to move it to a spot where I can shift it one space vertically and have it still work. Oh! Oh no! I just realized you'd have to shift a neutral third, and that would be two vertical spaces. So that makes it even worse. Because then, there's no way to get there, as far as I'm aware. I guess I'd have to actually relearn a new shape. And I may be too lazy for that tonight. Let's see. Oh, it's 10:44. That's interesting. I wonder how long this will go. Pretty interesting. Okay, so we've got this. Awesome, we can shift. Oh, I hit on the wrong spot there. That's sounding more diminished seventhy, right? Maybe 343 as well. What how many cents is that, Tristan? 340 thirds of an octave. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Darn, that's really too bad that we can't do that. I think I'm gonna have to learn a new shape or two. Okay, so we've got this. And then if I want to go up a neutral third, I'm gonna grab the notes that are here. Oh, that's nice. So now I'm moving by a neutral third. I like that. That's good. Oh, I think that's the 360. No, 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 no. It's higher. There we go, yeah. Oh, so it's, okay. So it's like a big major third there. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Oh, okay. So these notes are kind of in the same space. So like a minor third, it's acting like one. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is why this is so good. Right here, that's a neutral second. And here, this is a size that we've been treating as the major second. But because this neutral second is wide enough, these two notes sound closer than these two. So you still get kind of like that. By the way, we have 12 tone over here, so we can compare. Oh, that one sounded weirdly close. I was gonna play it until it didn't sound zen to me anymore. Okay, so now we're back to this. We can't move the entire shape up by a neutral third, but we can move the bottom portion up by a neutral third, which gives us something awesome. So then here, let's see. This is just me calculating notes. So I have to use this other shape. This one, going from the fourth to the fifth, it goes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's nice. Just an example of how that could get more shimmery. Okay, that's really cool. Okay, so I think I got the makings of something good. So we have, oh, here we go. We have this, and then I'm gonna go up a neutral third. Oh, I didn't do this in the right spot. Oh yeah, here we go. This is right. What happened here? Oh, there it is. Okay, great. So I think I found enough cool shapes. Okay, I figured out how to move by the neutral third. And now I think I will try and record something. See where things are taking me. Is anybody still here? Do we have people in the chat? Any awesome people watching? No? Oh, here's something weird. Can you see this on the stream? If I am closer to the Lumitone, the lights, like, they light up properly. But if I'm farther away, it will just glow because of the contrast. So, like, or maybe if I'm closer to the camera, it will happen. Oh yeah, see? Now the Lumitone is glowing. Do you guys see that? Now that I'm right next to the camera, it's just glowing really bright. But if I move, oh, it goes back. It's really weird how, like, objects in a room can interfere with how something is lit. And I didn't notice this almost at all until I was working with the Lumitone and, like, trying to film it. And even now, like, this looks fine on the stream right here. But, you know, if I were to record it, it would just look horrendous, I'm sure, because it just happens like that. Okay. Wow. I'm already transformed by playing in this tuning. So this is really exciting. And I'm definitely going to do this and do some fun all-night composition shenanigans. This will be good. And I think, where will this song end up? I'm trying to think. I don't know. We'll have to see. Probably not Ignoring Years of Hindsight. But yeah. For those of you that don't know, I'm also trying to organize all my music into, like, existing albums, because there's so much of it that if I try to point it out to people individually, it's just too much information. So, but I've been able to group them roughly sort of by period as well as style. So for the Emoji album and Ignoring Years of Hindsight, I already have that going on, but none of the rest of them do. So in my past work, I'd need to group together, like, conference pieces that I would expect to be played by people, maybe, like, some computer pieces. And some pieces I wrote for myself where, like, the expectation was that I show up for the gig and just press play and there's a backing track on the speakers and then I sing along to it in microtonal tuning and nobody's playing any instruments. Which is a great way to start, by the way. I'm not doing that too much anymore though, because, you know, live stuff is great. Okay, here we go. So we figured out how to move by a neutral third. And that made this awesome cluster happen. A really, really squashed. Comparing it to 12. What was that it? Let's see. Oh, wild. Great. We got neutral thirds going on there. That's really cool. That's a nice point of tension, I think. And then it can be huh. It sounds a little too pure. Huh. Oh, you know what? Oh my god. Okay, I just realized that if I have two notes here, like this big second here, and I scoot the higher one up to the right and the lower one to the left, I shrink inwards by 1. let's try this with some other pairs. That doesn't really work for that one. Yeah, so it doesn't work everywhere. Okay, maybe neutral third. Now, let's find that other third. So, if we have a neutral third, and that's going to go vertically like this, then if we find the other one, we have to go... Oh, that's the wrong way. We have to go... So for the higher neutral third, we have to go right 1 and down right 1, 2, 3. Like that. Okay, here we go. So now I'm trying to fit this in. Oh, that's cool. Wait a second. Oh, I was going up from the root here, so that ended up moving by different intervals. So I'd have to move this one up by that different amount. Oh, it's so difficult with the wrap, like wrapping around the Lumitone, like using all the shapes you'd like to use. Let's see. I guess if I was doing this, then let's go right 1. Yay! We found another note up here, so I can actually move down from it. Okay, so 1. Yay! Okay. See this one? Very subtly different. Does that sound as much like it unequally splits a minor third? No, it splits it in half. And I'm gonna be honest, guys. That's not that zen to me anymore. Splitting a minor third in half. So I think that makes me want to change the size of this. So that'll be our next thing to do. And then I think I'll have everything I need to make a basic chord progression and then figure out how to slide it by 33, and then we'll end the stream. In the meantime, I've got to use the bathroom, so I will be right back. Alrighty. Hello, my microtonal angels. We are back. We've got people. I was thinking about something. 343 is 49 times 7, isn't it? So you could take some progression in 49, and if you repeated it 7 times, 7 is kind of like a biblical number. So I think that works out really well. Arse, says Mr. Leaky. Hello, Mr. Leaky. I'm so glad to see you here with that big orange M that represents your avatar. It's very Mr. Leaky. Okay. So, I think my last order of business before I do all the recording and the finessing and the stuff that takes all night that maybe people don't want me to stream that badly, is to figure out how a shift from a low neutral third can be exaggerated versus the shift to the higher neutral third. So let's figure that out. We've got this here. And here's that awesome shift. Oh god. Oh, I still love that quality change. It's so good. It's such a subtle shift. Ah! Play until you mess up. Ooh, that sounds major 30. So same idea, but it shrunk more. Now, this is shrunken, and that's really good because we want the neutral third to be shrunk in a related way. Now, let me see if I've forgotten where the higher neutral third is. I think I have. Damn it. Okay. I am in judge, so I will not give you any advice or feedback. Ah, okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Leaky, for remaining unbiased. I appreciate your commitment to the academic process. Okay, so I've got this right here. Neutral third. Okay, so now I have to find that freaking large neutral third again. Damn it. Okay, so. Okay, so. Okay, that should work. So. Okay, we have this here. That is a second. We've got this second here. Ah, unfortunately, it's already a large second. So you probably can't make it much larger and still make it secondy. But we can try. Oh, nope, that's not one. There it is. Oh, man! Interesting. This sounds kind of 7/60. And I think that exact step from here to here, that in my mind is where like it goes from being secondy to minor 30, just in 12th terms. So I think if we want things to sound like they're the same quality in 12 EDO, that could be something that breaks what we have. But maybe in our other chord, I'm going to say that the distance we had as a major second is recontextualized as sounding minor third sounding like with the planing that we gave it. So I think now what I'd like to do is expand this minor third in the higher shifted chord larger, because then we dramatically increase like how much territory something that is supposed to sound like a minor third can cover. So let's do that. Okay, here we go. Ah, damn. Do I have the right note? Okay, here we go. Oh, let's change the second as well. Ooh, you notice? Oh, sorry. So top note's a little lower. Major third! Yay! No! I pressed the button again! Oh, codswallop. What a bunch of crap. Okay, here we go. Send editor layout. Luckily, I have the same editor layout. That is so tragic, these darn buttons. Hey, Gordon, what are some strategies you use to avoid the buttons? Do you have a special cover that you use? Do you put them on? What's your thing? That's really good. No strategy at all. I just repeatedly fail. Amazing. Same. Okay, so the reason this moving to this is so great is because the second on the outside is changed only 1/49th of an octave. But you get this major third out here, so it's like you hear two different versions of this. But it gets so narrow that the outside finally becomes that, and then you're like, I can't quite rationalize it in 12. You can try rolling your face on the honeycombs. Great. Okay, here is nothing. Are you ready? Okay. And that's the piece. Very good, ladies and germs, and all others. We did it. We created the most amazing piece ever. Okay, here we go. That's so great. I love that so much. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I want to include both of those. Now, let's see where this is. That's not the pure one. Let's see, hold on. Wrong way. Ah! That's the pure one. You know what I love about playing in this tuning? I'm experiencing widening again. Have you guys experienced widening? It's where you play in such a small space where there's so many microtones that you start to perceive more, and so like you can perceive something like a super major third as like a major third or smaller, like because you've got more space in there and the steps are lining up a certain way. Oh, great. Okay, so I'm widening, and when you play this, that's a major third on the outside. And here, the outside is so low that it's a neutral third. But for some reason, I think when I hear those different shades of over here, it's like they get narrow in such a subtle, slow way that, and the sizes are different, more different on the inside, more exaggerated, that you're starting to not hear a chromatic cluster, but hear like a logical group of notes with different amounts of steps on the inside instead of the same number of steps that are half steps squashed together. So that's very exciting. You might have noticed also that when I was playing here and finding this and this, I didn't change what these notes on the outside were. So I'm interested in exploring that possibility. So I'm gonna do that. And then I think I'll come up with some kind of scheme to move things by um certain intervals in 343 and then compose the piece. Ears leveling up. Yes, that's what we all want. Okay. Let's see. Hmm. Okay. So we have this. Let's make this minor third as big as we can without making it a major third. And then insert the proper spacing there. So we have roughly like scale degrees like 1, a wide 2, a flat 3 that's super wide as it can be, and then a 4 that's as wide as it can be. And we'll see how different that sounds and what it does to the color palette we have. Okay, so right here, that's still minor 30. Sounds like 6/5. Then let's see. Yep, 7/10. So this is as large as it can get while still sounding minor. You probably couldn't make 367 sound minor unless you were very sneaky and had a really, really convoluted plan. So if anyone can do it, let me know. Right here, if I've got this, that's my orange note. I'm using the colors now to memorize. Let's see. So right here, I've got the neutral third. Over here, let's see if I can expand this a proportional amount. So right here, there's the second, which is a certain amount of intervals, and then I go up one more, two more, three more, four more. So if I've gone up four more, then my major second, quote unquote, can go up two more to match if I want the proportions to sound similar. So that means that if I had, let's see, that's up 7/2 steps. So it needs to go up to 8 and 9. Yeah, so it can just go up like a second shape on the keys and then go. Oh, that's so great! Yes! Okay, here we go. So. Okay, so we've got this. Now, what's the highest we can get a fourth? Here we go. Yeah, that's the point. There's a very clear borderline between major second like and minor third like at the like 8/7, 7/6 area. And the 7/6 makes the difference tone ring on this instrument as well. There it is. There's the point. So. Okay, so here's the difference. All right. So. Oh. Ah, yeah! So that one shoots really high. And then this one shoots really low. Ah, yeah, we did it. So we came up with two alternative versions of the same progression, and both of them, in their scale degrees, stretch not only oppositely, but have very nice seventet and distinct categories within, and they both stretch far enough that 12 tone equal temperament is smack dab in the middle. Isn't that great? So that means that whichever way you go, whichever one you pick, you won't be close to 12 tone equal temperament, but they're both exaggerated outwards and they both sound like their respective categories. So that's exactly what I want in a lot of my compositions, and in this instance as well. Yay, that's very exciting. Okay, so I think now we've gotten to the point where most of it is just me grinding all night and putting everything together. So hopefully that was really fun. Looking at the different pieces of 343, or not really 343, but 49, and then me figuring out how I'm going to put that in 343. I guess I do want some kind of tonic, and I want it to be pretty regular and easy. I'm not like thinking in a super modulatory way here, or not even like in a super point to point way, because I know some songs are modulatorily fancy. Some songs just like have one tonic and it's very easy to identify. And some, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will make it more of a point to point thing. Who knows? Okay, great. So now thinking about what I can do to multiply each progression by 7, or to multiply it by 7 to get to 343 notes per octave. That's going to be really exciting. I actually, here, I can take this. Okay, oh, here we go. I actually have a funny idea. And that funny idea is that if I'm recording and then I put in like the piano tech data that, or whatever data I use for the synthesizer, that I then export the audio and then just move the audio that I want by 3 cents instead of like having all the synths do it, as long as I'm sure that it's the audio I want. And then I don't have to deal with like making sure all the synths are in tune by clicking each one and making sure they're 3 cents off and like doing the math and all of that stuff, because it honestly would be easier to have pieces of audio and just shift them by 3 cents and stuff every time. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to try and come up with something on paper or in my mind to try and shift this around. So I'm playing the Lumitone less. So this might be less interesting to the chat, but I would still like to try and come up with it here. Okay. By the way, here's the picture that's used in the thumbnail. Can you see it? That's a nice picture right there. So that comes from Hark the Biblically Accurate Angels Sing. And that was the reason for my cryptic YouTube post today. Whenever I hit a new benchmark and how far I am, I'm just going to post how many minutes in I am. And it's like 2 minutes and 30 seconds or something. So I hit some 2-minute mark and I was really impressed. So the next thing that I have to do in Hark the Biblically Accurate Angels Sing is a part where it goes like, Joyful are ye nations rise. And the nations rise is held out, right? Because otherwise it would be like a normal 2-bar phrase. Joyful all ye nations rise. But here it's joyful all ye nations rise. There's nothing clever metrically except that the notes at the end are just being held out more. And during that part, which has certain like a certain impactful 40 tet and 42 tet at the same time, just evil sort of sound, or really good, maybe outside of morality kind of sound, like the mouths and the eyes of the angels. I want them to move diagonally in one, and then in the next one they can pop in and out of existence in their little areas. And then in the very last one, I want them to move in a sinusoid. And I don't have any pre-programmed animations to do that whatsoever. So basically, I am eyeballing and calculating all the geometry by myself, and it is absolute hell. And I am accepting certain imperfect artifacts of those geometric calculations as part of the process. So, like, for example, in this picture, you can see, you might be able to see that it's 9 by 9, so there are 81 angelic mouths and eyes. And many of them are doubled, of course. My new computer can handle 81 video tracks at once, which is amazing, and more, because there's several other tracks that are being used for other parts, but not that. But I try and share them in a way that's computationally efficient. So now in this next part, I have to mess everything up again, because it's like, in each new section, everything has to have a new rationale so that it can move in a way that I understand where it's all going. So I'm hoping that today I hope to figure out how diagonal mouths move. No, I'm already composing this 343 thing. So probably the mouths are going to have to wait until tomorrow. But tomorrow I have to practice for my accompanist thing, actually, so. But I might not have to practice very much. It's just a refresher, so. Yeah, you get these series of interesting overlapping tests. Okay, so Gordon, if you are still there, I have a question for you. I know the contest is tomorrow. Am I good to submit the tracks tomorrow at any time during the day? And will the submission still count? Because if it's like at a certain time of day, I may have to wait, and then I could be too late. Or maybe it's something where you'd like my entry so much. Oh, the contest is on the 13th. Oh, so Gordon, does that mean that this track isn't actually due tomorrow? Oh, that would be so cool. Fingers crossed. I put the 10th as the due date. Oh, I see. It's kind of like telling the band kids that the call time is 5, but really they have to be there at 6, so that everyone will just be early and prompt. If you send later, I'll still accept it. Okay, great. Well, what I'm going to do is hash this out here, and I think I'll come up with something good. And I haven't come up with anything melodically yet, but I'm hoping that I can use a real instrument to record some data because I don't want it to be all in the computer. So I'm also trying to think of what instrument I would use. But I'm thinking of this like sort of pensive chord progression that I was playing in 49. I think that's sort of my inspiration. So what instrument is the most angelic? I wonder. Obviously the automaton. Waylay. Oh, that's exactly how to spell my name. Okay. Um. Oh gosh, I guess violin would be really weird, wouldn't it? Um. I don't know. There's this thing I've been doing where if I'm supposed to play in a precise tuning, I will like as an effect that is against what you're supposed to do. I may purposely play a wiggly instrument because the impression matters more than the accuracy in some cases. But I think in this one, I want to be relatively accurate with the instrument and its intonation. Not that it has to be super accurate, but accurate in such a way that I feel like it's not vibrating. Excuse me, not vibrating around within some large range. Angelic. Angelic. Maybe trumpet. I've been practicing trumpet. I am now good enough to play like a whole C major scale and then a tritone below. So I'm hoping that I can get up some of those higher notes soon even. But it was hard for me to get to the notes that I'm already on, so I'm gonna have to keep practicing if I don't want my mouth to wear down. Or maybe it might not even be that big of a deal. Oh my gosh, is there a medal on the ground? There's a medal on the ground. Do you have harp? I do not. Oh, it's the Doherty Complex medal from Ball State University. So it must be that I moved some item that had this attached to it and it fell down. But I don't see any important Ball State items in any areas. So I'm just going to put this here. Okay. Great. I wonder what kind of melody this song should have. I guess it should be I think it would be really cool if the arpeggiated notes started to sound more melodic. So then maybe you doubt that a long melody note is the held melody note, but you wouldn't be able to create that kind of confusion until you establish that the melody note is actually the melody. So then I think in the beginning, the arpeggiation has to be rhythmic enough and non melodic enough that it's clear that the melody note with some shape and then just a few fast notes at various pockets is in fact the melody. So like the texture I'm thinking is like the arpeggiated notes. Let's see. Undo, do, 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 do. Or no, a second. Do, 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 do. So those are like blocks here, and then like kind of like that. I think that might be good with like whatever interesting rhythmic framework I decide to pick. Um, okay, so Pyramid Song by Radiohead has a group of three, a group of three, a group of four, a group of three, and a group of three, and that's inspiring. Why not do three and then four and then three? That seems like it could work out really well. And I wonder if there's some way I could divide the 3 and the 4 and the 3 that you kind of think that the beats are the same amount of time. I think that would be nice because then it would obscure it and make it sound like it's in a slightly uneven 3. So 3 and 3, that's 6, and then 4 is 10. I like that. Okay. Let's see. I'm just kind of writing some things down here. So we have 3, 4, 3, and let's see. 3. Hmm. I bet you could do something syncopated. Um, I guess I'm imagining like a big beat. Yeah, I think a big beat would be good because if you did like if you do a shorter beat, I think the inequality becomes like a part of a swing thing almost all the time. Um, so maybe it is like a sort of a longer on the phrase length. Yeah, yeah. So I think if it's a big to moderate beat and it's just got some syncopation, that might work out really well. So I wonder if I can come up with something that's interesting enough within that pattern. Um, what's really nice about that too is if you have 3 and then 4 and then 3, the normative way to do that kind of beat structure would be to do a double like uneven beat. I don't know if Adam Neely calls this like the 5/4 clave. Like he's trying to avoid it when he's writing in 5/4 because it's the 5/4 cliche or the 10/8 cliche, like in Mission Impossible. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2. Right? So that's in 10/8. You could even think of that as 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. Right? But if you put the 4 in the middle, it displaces that entire feeling, I think. 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Oh, okay. When I'm doing it fast enough there, it really feels like I add that extra in, and it's harder to not orient it to be the Mission Impossible 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 cliche. So, with that bit of knowledge, I'm going to go with a slower beat, because with a slower beat, we don't fall into that temptation. But it could be that that would be an interesting temptation, right? Because, like, I can picture a composition where you could do that with the intentional effect of trying to get the listener to orient to 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2, but the meter obviously staying in 3 plus 4 plus 3. And that's great, and people should do that more. But I don't think that's what this composition is about. I think it's on a longer scale, and I don't think that's the kind of trick I want to play, because there's other stuff to focus on that's already worth the listener's focus, and we don't need this. But it's good to think about. So that's just, something that someone could use that's in this chat. Oh my god. This has gone on for so long. This might be the longest stream ever. This is crazy. Or at least my longest stream ever. It is what I meant to say. Not the longest YouTube stream in the history of the world. I wonder what the record for that is. I'm sure it's obscene. Um, okay, nice. So I'm writing down slow beats. Writing down. This is the longest stream ever. Let's see. A small 1 2 flat 3 flat 4 with a neutral third that's little, and then a larger neutral third here. That's cool. Okay. Right. Then I think the melody that I write is somehow going to highlight that 3 4 3. Just 8 hours left. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think of. Okay. Needs to be another hour and a half to reach 3:43. Oh boy. Are we gonna make it? No. Okay, so we've got that. So now I think another thing has to be how we're gonna make this work out to be 343 EDO by changing the digital audio workstation. By the way, my room has just gotten organized, which is very exciting. So I have like this 5x5 here. It's got all my instruments. Um, Not all of them, but most of them. Some of the microtonal guitars are over there in the corner, and I'm hoping to create one interchangeable fretboard guitar. So I don't know if I'm going to give the other microtonal guitars away, but I'm hoping that maybe that's possible. Okay, great. So now, okay, so let me figure out how 343 EDO works. So if well, I guess there's probably no wiki page about it, but maybe there is because of this contest. What guitar tunings do you have so far? Oh, I don't like that sound. That's a great question. The first acoustic guitar I got was in 19, and then I think I don't quite remember what was next, but 19 was first, and then I also got 17, 15, and 22. And then after that, Chris Vaisville gave me Dan Stearns's 20-tone electric guitar, which is very fun to play. And I actually have played it recently for something. If anyone's heard the new Water from Your Eyes album, I love the song Born 2 because the power chords are really weird. And there's like chromatic cluster stuff going on that I don't know if the band is aware of, but it's pretty awesome. So I was playing it with a 20-tone equal tempered guitar, and then I tuned it so it would play pure power chords. So it's kind of actually in 60 EDO, and I'll also be playing some 12-tone guitar with it, like on my normal 1210 electric guitar. So those are the 5 tuned guitars that I have. So I don't have any fretless guitars, but I do have a fretless bass. So fretless bass, Lumitone. Now I just need the interchangeable guitar fretboard, and then I could theoretically, with the right people or copies of myself, play a set where like you're in one tuning and then you change tuning mid set. Probably not a lot, but like you could prepare a show with like a modest amount of tunings and it wouldn't be a big deal and you could play it. Like that's just kind of my dream there. Because then all these things that I'm doing on YouTube could come to life in the proper way. Because whenever you play live and that's not a thing, the choices, the tuning choices really shoehorn your repertoire into a very narrow box. And actually, I think that narrow box can be a blessing. Like, I really like it as a limitation. It's like, oh, what am I going to play in 23? There's like 3 songs that I want to play on Lumitone in 23. So, better get to work mastering those. Kind of a beauty of having like the obvious choice in front of you can be really fun. But yeah. Okay, let's see if there's a 343 page because of the stuff that everybody has been doing. There is a 343 page. Interesting. Okay, so the smallest step. I see. Here's some scales. Leasite 23. Oh, discovered by Gordon. Awesome, Gordon. Good job. It has 17 and 13 out of 343. Oh, that seems like it would sound a lot like 23 EDO. Oh yeah, very similar to 23 and can be used as a temperament of it. Oh, I like that. That's fun. Okay, let's see. Other MOS scales, blah blah blah. Ah, dang. 49 EDO and equiheptatonic. Yes, very good. Oh, wow. Budjarn Lambeth has written music in 343 by using 2 copies of Lucite 23. Wild. I love it. Okay, great. So it'll be interesting to see what approaches people have. I want to make my approach as transparent as I can. Um, I don't know if I should keep this stream or not. It's an interesting one, but it's so long. So who knows? Maybe it's worth it because we talked about a lot of good stuff there. Okay, so I guess I have got to use my calculator over here. Okay, so 1200 divided by 343 gives like 3.49 whatever cents. Okay. This stream will be a great reference for the future. Okay. We may have to keep it then. We'll have to see. I think I want to keep it. I'm on the fence, but you saying that makes me think I should keep it. Okay. So now I got my post-it note, I have a calculator, the basic tools. So now I think the idea, how do I want to move this around? That's a really good question. Okay. So because of the tuning causing pitch drift changes, now deciding how I want to do this has become a form question. Another very interesting aspect of tuning. It's like if tuning drifts become long enough, you can use it for that. Oh, I've got about 10 minutes for Wordle over there. My wife and I do Wordle every day. So, I've got to get going, but I will try very quickly to see if I can figure out how I want this to drift over time. Because I'm wondering if any of you in the chat have a solution to this. If there's a sneaky way that I can drift by a particular 343 EDO exclusive amount, Wordle emergency, but not just make it so that the music drifts up 3.49 cents like every once in a while. That's not what I want to do. I feel like that's what everybody else would do, and I just think that effect would be a little marginal for me, and I'd want something else. Oh dang, Gordon, I think you typed something and it disappeared so fast that I couldn't read it. Let me see. Okay, so I wonder. Okay, really, what's going to be useful for me is not the 343 EDO page, but the 49 EDO page, because then I can think of anything in 49 as being split up into groups of 7. And I wonder, what would be really interesting? Is to try and move Wordle. Yeah, you're telling me. Luckily, there's a thing we do if I'm a little late. And the thing we do is I just turn off my clock's automatic timing and it switches to San Diego and gives me 3 hours. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Did you just spoil that for me? I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. It's just like Curb Your Enthusiasm when they spoil the Wordle. Okay, so right here, I can. Okay, let's move. Okay, so I have my intervallic ideas of like where I'm starting with 0 cents, and then I'm doing a tonality shift or tonality flux, and then that tonality flux. In that, everybody moves by 1/49th of an octave. So I'm essentially writing down all my ideas and summarizing them. Starting from 0 cents, we have tonality flux, and everyone moves 1/49th of an octave, and it just sounds like 1, 2, 4, 5 moves that go inward and outward, which is an amazing feeling. So that also gives rise to shimmer if you play the arpeggios in different ways that enumerate many of the notes. So next, aside from those intervals, we also have 2 different kinds of neutral thirds, which is absolutely delightful. So if we go to 14/49ths of an octave and 15/49ths of an octave, we get like a 343 cent interval for 14, and then for 15 we get 367. So those definitive moves feel like they end up in places that essentially yield a whole scale or two, and I'm trying to think of what I think a really colorful move would be one that goes in the cracks of how you would sum all those notes up. So the tonality flux is pretty marginal because those notes are 1/49th of an octave apart. Thinking about 14/49ths and 15/49ths of an octave, I'm thinking that a good distance to travel might be well, I think maybe splitting the neutral third in half might be a good idea. And in 7EDO, that's like this 171 cents kind of thing, right? Do all the 7EDO intervals have that nice symmetry with their cent numbers? Like 171 cents for 7, or 171 cents for like 1 degree of 7EDO, 343 for 2 degrees. How about the next one? 514. Looks like that doesn't have it. That's too bad. 28. It's got 686. Oh, it's got it. That's interesting. It's 2 EDO steps rather than 1, but I wonder if you could play this modulating between 49 EDOs fifth and third. 2 EDOs. Crap. Disappeared before I read it. Let's see. 49 EDOs fifth and 343 EDOs fifth. Ooh, yeah. That's a good idea. So 49 EDOs fifth is there. And then if I take 710 minus 204. Okay, what's this times 2? Okay. And then I take that times, okay, so 710.204. Oh, crap. Yeah? That's stupid. Give me ands. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's really interesting. 2 EDO stubs is still co-prime with 343. Yeah. That's good. So, we could adjust the fifths. That could work. And then we would end up there. Okay, I wonder. Oh, and you know what? I think this would work with piano timbre, because if we tune the fifth a little bit more purely, you would hear it. So you could use that to cause some kind of chain reaction. That's interesting. I didn't know about this symmetry with 7 EDO intervals. I'm going to write down the symmetries, because the symmetries remind me of the 343 symmetry. So then, in some sense, it's like you could use them to connote that. Okay, so 1 degree of 7 EDO is 171 cents. 2 degrees is, let's see, 343. Classic. And then, let's see, 2. Okay, 3 degrees is 514. So that one isn't symmetrical. If it was 515, it would be, but that's not how math works. Then 28, or fourth, is 686. If you round, of course, which I'm choosing to do for convenient reasons. Okay, sometimes 5. 5, that's going to be 857. And then 6, 1,029. And then, of course, come all the way around to 7, you've got 1,200. Okay, so that means that, so 3 different degrees of 7 EDO, just coincidentally due to how they divide, have symmetrical structures around them. 1 degree, 2 degree, and 4 degrees. So like the 7 EDO second, the 7 EDO third, and the 7 EDO fifth. And what's interesting about that is that's one unique spot from like each of the inversional areas around the tritone. So each of the symmetrical ones can invert to a non-symmetrical one. So that's kind of cool. 1, 2, 4. Okay. I'm spotting something here, which is that the seconds, fourths, and fifths. I mean, I have a second, a third, and a fifth as a symmetrical item here. So maybe there's something where I want to use those intervals to connote symmetry in the same way that 343 as a general concept does. Okay, so moving by some kind of interval. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to just turn the phone back for that Wordle thing. Okay. So, going back to 343 and trying to figure out how to move it over. I wonder. Yeah, I think we could starting from the fifth might be a good idea. Yeah, and then the fifths could be going flatter. And that would be kind of cool instead of going sharper. And I really like the idea of moving by 2, 3, 43rds of an octave, because if you move 1, that's such a small distance. And 2 just makes it a little bit more and feels a little bit more real, like it could matter in the music, because when the distances get really, really small, it's so hard to make them matter. So, um, great. I think that's what I'm gonna do then. Is I'm gonna take have uh have the music go up by a fifth, and then we'll plot how long would it take to get to the start then? I think it would have to take 7 times, because that's how things that are coprime work. So like if I had some starting spot, and then the perfect fifth was the 49-10 perfect fifth. 2, 4, 29. Then I could take it starting from here, but I could subtract it. Oh, but then I could subtract it by 2, 3, 43rds of an octave. Let's see what that would get me. Okay, 1200 divided by 343 times 2. Great. Okay, so that's like 7 cents lower. Okay, great. So then that would get me there to that's 7 cents lower. Yeah, I'm wondering how much I want to drift this. I might not want to actually drift it that much. Okay, that's drifted down 2, 3/43 of an octave, and then if we drifted it down 2 more, and 2 more, um, that would be 6, and then you could do 1 more, and then that would have moved it 7. But I wonder if there's some way I can move coprime through 343 that it doesn't feel like it's just moving by the same amount. So if that fifth is moving down by 2, 3/43 of an octave, then that means that you've got that kind of perfect fifth. You have a different system of 49 tone equal temperament. And then something else that's coprime with 343. I suppose I could move amounts that are simply exaggerated downwards by 2. And then, as long as I'm not doing it from the same note, it won't feel like the entire thing is just shifting down 2, 2, 2, but that you're in a new colorful area. And then that colorful area is cycling through. Okay, so I might do that. Oh, I guess how many times? Oh, if I moved through 2 7 times instead of like 3.5, then I would be moving 14, and that would matter a little bit more, because it would be, let's see, it would be 2 steps of 49 EDO instead of 1. I think that's better. Yeah, because that's like the semitone here. That's good. Okay, so now that I am moving to, I'll say, remove 7 times on different notes. After I do that, oh dang, message that went away. Can you post that again? Sorry that I didn't read that. I saw that it was there and then it went away. Okay, move 7 times. I'm looking up repeatedly so that I see it. Let's see. If what is worth, the difference between 70D is fifth and 3 is fifth is 5. And 5 is also coprime. Oh, that's also a good thing to point out as well. Let's see. That's awesome. Maybe I can creatively shuffle those moves around. This is something that I can doodle while I'm watching television with my wife. So I think I am going to now do that as I'm figuring this out. because I've become tired of talking. But I'm very glad that everyone here was interested in joining me for looking at 343 notes per octave, mostly just 49 notes per octave. And I think I found something that is going to be really cool. So I'm really excited to get in the DAW with it and see how that goes. So I'll see y'all later. Bye bye. 344 tomorrow. That'd be funny.